Power Field at Mile High in Denver. This is the National Football League. Denver Broncos taking on Carr and the Las Vegas Raiders.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Power Field at Mile High. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Denver Broncos. And off we go from Denver. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And as the Raiders take over on offense, we get to see the man who has been the leader of this team for 9 seasons now, under center Derek Carr.
It's been fun to watch his development through the years, and right now what you see is a very confident quarterback who has a strong sense of self, totally understands the offense, and knows how to get the ball to his playmakers on the run.
Carr going to throw right away. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Aaron Browning from that outside linebacker spot gets in there. It's a loss of 9. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback too.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Here's A.J. Cole now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or 2. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Here's Russell Wilson, 11th season in the league. First, of course, with Denver after a high-profile trade this offseason that saw him dealt from Seattle.
And I think that even after a decade in the NFL, he doesn't get enough credit for not just his consistency, but his brilliant play and leadership as well. He's won a Super Bowl in Seattle. He's led his team to another Super Bowl opportunity also in Seattle. His numbers are always terrific, almost always in the Pro Bowl, and all his team does is win. This guy's a natural leader.
So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos. Just shy of midfield at the 49. They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Now a man who began with the Raiders, it's Latavius Murray. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Here's Wilson to throw. This one complete to Jeudy. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 27-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And this one too low. KJ Hamler, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now a 1st carry for Melvin Gordon. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. They'll try to run it in with Murray. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Here's Wilson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Eric Saubert from 6 yards away. And the Broncos are on the board first here this afternoon. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, This is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
McManus's point after is good, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. First carry for the former Pro Bowler, Josh Jacobs. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
But they're certainly not neglecting their run duties as well as they ate up the blockers in front and allowed the secondary to get home.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Carr. His throw incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Carr. He gets this to Davante Adams. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Gets this to Waller on the crossing route. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 11 more on that one and another first down.
But give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
following the pickup of 4. Here's 2nd and 6. On play action, now Carr.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line.
Well, when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
After the interception, here's Wilson.
Open man, he completes it to Jeudy.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Here's a give up the middle. It's Gordon.
And he's going to have the Broncos first down as he'll take this forward to the 27.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground.
And there to make the tackle, Jonathan Abram.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Wilson. That's complete to the tight end, Saubert. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. And the Raiders have got him.
Credit the sack there to Chandler Jones.
One of the league's best linebackers. He ended that play almost before it began, and the running back absolutely overmatched no matter what he tried to do.
So on 4th down, the Broncos send Corliss Waitman out to punt. Hunter Renfrow deep to return for the Raiders.
He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. 36 yards on the punt with no return, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points. But then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that worked. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now a first carry for Brandon Bolden. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down.
Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he is going to have the Raiders' first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. That's complete to Bolden. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do?
And he finds Waller in the end zone for a Raider touchdown.
A big play there. 46 yards.
And the Raiders are an extra point away from drawing level.
We see this route all the time, but when it's well executed, it's a beauty.
And it feels like the fade takes forever to develop, like that ball is just hanging in the air.
And the reason why is that the receiver is trying his best to work the defender inside and give himself space to fade away from him and catch the football. And that's exactly what happened there.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2.
5 plays there on that drive. And it concludes with a touchdown reception by Darren Waller. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos.
It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Looking middle, and that's complete. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. To throw is Wilson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Murray. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Wilson will throw again.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Ya-Sin.
You can easily see the logic. It's a tie game. They just wanted to press it a little bit right before the half, hoping to get one more score.
Yeah, easy to second-guess the result, but now you have to think after that interception, just a field goal, and they're behind at the break.
Yeah, I think at the half, the head coach just says, look, that's on me. I wanted to press it, but it's because I believe in you guys.
The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half. And now following that turnover, they've got an opportunity here to try to cash in with good field position before intermission. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. This is caught. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. They'll try and run it. This is Bolden. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They'll run it with Jacobs. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Raiders will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. And that is what you call lowering the boom down near the goal line. He was going to force his way in no matter what.
They always talk about low man wins when it comes to the offensive line, having the leverage to move the defenders. It's strong man wins when it comes to tackling in the red zone. And if you happen to be the low man and the strong man, that's a huge win.
Carlson down to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Broncos going to get one more possession in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Final Final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Wilson. They're looking for Jeudy, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Perryman. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Carr now on 1st down. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And out of bounds right around the 20. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Second and 5.
Now Carr. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Touchdown, Raiders. Brandon Bolden in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Raiders will extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 21-7. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. Montrell Washington on the return from his end zone.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, BG, thanks very much. And welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has certainly been one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference as the teams have already come back out onto the field for the second half. So let's get you back out as well to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway.
Washington now brings this out. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Bronco offense ready to begin this third quarter play. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter three.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 49 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. This is Gordon as they go to him again. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll run it up the middle now. Gordon. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
On first down, Murray. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go option to the short side. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Throwing is Wilson.
Got a man complete. It's Hamler.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 32-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
That was 2nd down run for Murray. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They go back to Murray on first down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for third down. Now Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Fourth down, Wilson trots off, and on comes Brandon McManus for the Denver field goal.
This from 36 yards out. The kick by McManus is good, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away.
Fields it right around the goal line.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. Carr and the Raiders come up first and 10 at their own 24. They'll try and start this drive in the air. A short one here secured by the tight end Waller. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that will bring up second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Looking to throw again on second down. Carr.
The slant connects with Davante Adams. Finding room at midfield.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So the big play gets him across midfield now for first and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 24-yard line. It's an 11-yard pickup. Thought they'd run it on 3rd and 1. Not the case.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Carr now on 1st down. Complete here to the right to Bolden.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Throwing now is Carr.
And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
How good has he been throwing the football, though? And despite that incompletion, that's just the 3rd time he's been off target this entire game.
And, Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot, and it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football, and it leads to more completions for them.
A dump off here to Bolden. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. Will go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
So Carr exits on 4th down, and on comes Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. That's just 32 yards officially from the right hash. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away.
Washington now brings this out. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Set to take over, the Broncos offense trots back out.
And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Sets up the screen to Gordon. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And That's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave them with a second and just a few inches left. A good start there on first down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
On second and very short, Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Wilson.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, Wilson. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 33. 23 yards to pick up there. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Wilson. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Chandler Jones in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
The Broncos in the hurry-up try to get to their positions and get set quickly. Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson. And here is a leaping catch. He pulled it in. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first.
Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles, and that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. A nice ball there against multiple defenders, and they advance it downfield.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Wilson trying to urge his guys to go faster and get set at the line. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a 2nd time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. To throw again is Wilson. And this is caught for a touchdown. So hang on now. Things just got a little bit more interesting here in the final minute.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Now McManus for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 24-17. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all.
And Cortland Sutton able to finish things off with the touchdown reception.
So with under 30 seconds to play, this is the game right here. And it's the Raiders that'll come up with it. And that will put victory in sight for the silver and black. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here.
Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The Broncos going dime. 2 extra defensive backs for 3rd down.
Playing pass all the way.
Carr down to a knee, and that ought to just about do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This is fielded inside the 5.
What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting into midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, everyone, as we say so long from Denver.